Over on the Risks tab, you can take a look at the various risks that the Managed Methods platform has picked up. And risks, again, are anything that you want the platform to look for, with whether it be within Drive, Gmail, Share Drive, Google Classroom announcements, or Google Chat. So anything from social security numbers to credit card numbers, indications of self-harm, violent or adult images. Over on the student side, this is where we can see indications sometimes of self-harm. If there's a long conversation back and forth between a couple of different students, this might indicate that there's a student who's talking about some kind of issues around self-harm or something else where it needs to be addressed there directly, or it could be a case of an inappropriate image being passed around or something of that nature. And then that takes us to the enabled risks themselves. So these are the risk scans that are turned on and active in the environment. They're going to be 5 out of the box ones. Self-harm ML, so that's indicating this is our self-harm machine learning model. So this one's designed to evaluate the sentiment and context of a potential risk there. Below that, self-harm strict, which is a phrase-based model, also does a good job of looking for things, but more focused on very explicit phrases around potential indications of self-harm. Further down here is going to be image risk ML, so that's going to be looking for potential violent or adult images there. I'm going to go ahead and jump down to self-harm ML next here, and this is one of our machine learning based risks. With any of these various emails here, in this case it's a lot of emails, we can go ahead and click into one of them. Coming over to the self-harm ML risk and clicking on it, you're going to notice that there's a risk level and then a risk score on it. From there, you'd want to download the message body. That's the recommended action on anything that gets flagged as self-harm ML. Now that we're over on the content side of policies section, we can talk a little bit about policies on the content side, where you can receive alert notifications about different activity you're concerned about, as well as have the platform take automatic action on things on your behalf if you'd like. So if we go ahead and scroll down here to some of the more behavioral student-focused policies, for example, the image risk policy here or the self-harm policy. This may be a case of where there may be somebody else who will be in charge of handling those different violations on those specific policies. For image risk, it may not be uncommon to have a resource officer or somebody else be handling those potential violent or adult images. With self-harm here, you may have a counselor or a psychologist involved in helping take a look at those various things that have been detected as having self-harm within them. So this is where you can have those alert notifications go out to somebody else instead of the primary admin there.